We're going live. No, I'm sorry. I'm doing it. It's what I want to do. It's what's happening, but it is okay.
We'll do it live then.
Yeah. Hey, if this red light is to be believed, we are live here on another Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. We're actually here live, which is great. Hi, I'm your host, Harry, aka the Moving Target. Well, welcoming you to this exciting episode of Low Key as I want to just issue that kept going up and just keeps coming up. And the more I dig into it, the more worse it gets. And I need someone to rant to because at work, every time I try to talk to someone about it, I get frustrated and angry because they just don't see what the problem is. And they're just like, but you're here to protect us right from this. It's like, I can't protect you from yourself.
There's certain things you can't have any control over.
Yeah, and that voice you're hearing is Reinhold, because you guys know I don't fly solo. Reinhold, would you say hi and already introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Reinhold, and then I was a little late today because I was busy trying to get my Plex working through my AWS, so I could get my Lastpass all functional. We'll explain what all that means, but in a little bit. But, it's funny. It's hilarious if you know.
Yeah, this is important because Reinhold's building his NAS, right? So. All right. So the other person we got Vincent here. The other person here chuckling, fresh after as he picked up that delivery.
Yes, I've picked up my delivery of a hot water heater that needs to be installed, which we couldn't do because the weather was not conducive to hot water heater installation.
I'm gonna mark on my Trello board that's project's done because you have possession of the water heater. So I said the project is done. It's absolute win. We're done, right? I don't need to do anything else, right?
Right. Like that. So again, I'm gonna contact Escalja and go, hey, when are you free to help me install this?
No.
Yeah, as long as help me install this.
He was a little busy this last weekend. I have to give him that.
Yeah, Escalja, producer Paul was out cosplaying at the convention this weekend.
I did not go.
Right. Oh.
He was sick, sir. He has an excuse.
I was kind of sick, yeah. Okay. And it was my wife's birthday Saturday, so.
Oh, well, happy birthday!
I decided to choose her over the party.
That's a first, right?
It's a bad commie move, I know.
Yeah, first time in how many years? Oh.
They quit scheduling it for that weekend. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. I try to get the CPAC runoff. Okay, all right, but I don't want to get too much into because it's not a political show. But the CPAC numbers, did you guys see the attendance numbers?
I didn't see the attendance numbers, but I saw the crazy crap that came out of it.
Oh yeah. That's
all the media bites now that are going to haunt them for the next year or two.
God, I know. Makes me was like I only want to go to pick up bad sound bites now. It's just like, why are you here? To record. Keep talking. Just to record, baby. Just to record. Oh man, yeah. So. Oh well, yeah. Well, I'm glad that everyone got something fun out of this last weekend. Reinhold was, with his wife.
Sure, you can call that fun.
Yeah. Yeah. If I have to leave in the middle of the podcast for about 5 minutes, just ignore me.
That's fine. We try. This weekend I actually was over at the studio, the Stream House, working on a couple of things, moving some tables and some chairs around. I started to put the server rack together. It's in the basement because the server rack's not together in the basement. The server is just sitting of the servers and everything else is just sitting on a table in the basement, and the rack is just sitting there on the floor, ready to be. I need to put it together. And that was my plan. I was like, I'm going to put the server rack together. This way it's there, it's up together. So the next time we're there, I can probably convince Paul and Brian will help me rack the server. Ryan, I don't need you to lift. I need you just to make sure the pieces go
Well,
in.
it's there, right? So you can mark it complete on the Trello part.
No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Exactly. You said it. Yeah, exactly. It's Trello. Yeah.
no, Ryan,
See?
that's not how that works. Not for me.
That's rude, sir. I didn't know we were doing Spangles rules in here.
I know that hurts. That hurts, Ryan. Hurts me. All right. It's okay if I hurt you too, but when you hurt me, then it's mean. Okay.
Uh-huh. Sounds tsundere to me, but I see.
Whoa. That's offensive. Anyways, yeah. So like, I need to get the server rack put up, and so we can like get the servers off the desk that's there and actually in the rack, and then I can get the wiring done because I've got the 6-pack to run the wiring up there. I've got the cabling in the basement. It's all ready to go. I just need to get time to go do it, and But the reason why I didn't do it Saturday is because when I was down there getting ready to work on it, I noticed that the sump pump sprung a small leak, and I had to go fix it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
speaking of the house, since he's AFK right now, when do you want to do the big stream?
I don't know. This Friday would probably be the best because next Friday is St. Patrick's Day, and I'm not hanging out with you teetotalers, non-drinking people next Friday. Even though next Friday, yeah, sorry. And then after that, I have no idea. I'm gonna pull up a calendar. I mean, what Fridays we get left? So, oh crap! So it's either gonna be the 31st or
we have the 10th.
We
have the 24th or the 31st.
It's because there's always something else to do. There's always something else to do. Yeah, I see. Like, I like the idea. I think to me, like this Friday would be the best because like I'm not gonna drink that much. I don't want to drink that much this Friday because I've got hot yoga on Saturday, which so like that would work. And the next Friday won't work because, like I said, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna sit at my house and drink, or
probably trash.
Yeah, or honestly, like thought about going to a certain Korean barbecue establishment and get trashed there.
Ah, cool. So when are you meeting there?
I don't know. You gonna come pick me up?
I mean, if that's the case, I will already be in Fishers when I got off work. So I could come pick you up and then take you there.
I don't have to drive. Woo! I'm gonna need 4 bottles of soju, and then slowly bring out this combination plate. Well, I'm gonna be here for hours.
It's gonna be a while. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna get trashed.
We're gonna get trashed. If I get too obliterated, here's the credit card and mace.
Well, yes, I am a huggy drunk. How did you know? That's what the mace is for.
I'm not gonna lie, when I do get blacked out drunk, I get very huggy. I'm not gonna
there
lie.
it is. There it is.
I'm not gonna lie. Like just all right. I don't like saying like drunk stories on the internet because I don't know who's actually listening. Yeah, creepy does sound good, but like I just don't like like make sure no one at work or anything from here. But like there are many of I have like on more than one occasion had my wife carry me out of a bar because I wouldn't stop hugging or saying goodbye to people or talking to people on the way out. I just wasn't moving fast enough for her. My favorite one is when she had me on her shoulder, carry me out, and I convinced her to go get kebabs at the kebab shop, and then eat them as she's carrying me.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to do it this Friday, we can. I just need to know.
All right, we'll check in with the rest of the crew, see if we can get them in. I don't know. Or do it late in the month. I also need to talk to Spangle because like his schedule his schedule has gotten thrown upside down over this last week. If you guys are following along in the Pat Down, if you're hanging out with the Pat Down podcast, their room, have been all the stuff is going on with what's going on in Chris's life, which so yeah, so
fun.
find out what's going on. But yeah. So this Friday would probably be the best, and after that, like we'll have to like look into it because, like I said, I'm not hanging out with you nerds on St. Patrick's Day. Which I heard like also the radio is that apparently since it's St. Patrick's Day, everyone's getting a pause for be able to eat meat on a Friday because of Lent. So
interesting.
Are you Catholics out there? And Catholic lights.
That sounds like a cop out to me, but
everything in religion can be like as long as you find the right rules, you can cop out anything. Yes.
You
yes,
just now realized right now that you're blue screen, that you're green screen through your shirt.
Forgot I had green on the shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should do a whole just a pure green shirt and just do it and be a floating head.
I'm waiting for you just to like come on here to reinvent yourself and just be some evil villain on the net.
I'm not.
No.
I think there's some people who might disagree with you on that.
I doubt that. Anyways,
I will say that you probably wouldn't say you're not a villain, but I wouldn't put it past you for you to put out to do the question rant from Justice League Unlimited when he's being tortured.
Oh God.
And Harry, you know exactly what I mean. But I would not put it past Reinhold. You talk about the fluoride in the toothpaste.
I was watching talking about Florida. I was watching somebody react to Dr. Strangelove the other day, and they were like, "Fluoridation in the water," and this person was a millennial, and they're like, "What's that? What's fluoridation? I don't understand what that is." I'm like, how do you not know?
Fluoride in the water is not there for tooth decay. It's there to make teeth detectable by spy satellites.
Well, the birds have to have some way to track you, right? So the birds need that
question is so stupid.
Highlighted pinging thing.
The little plastic ends on the end of shoelaces are called aglets.
Listening devices.
Their true purpose is sinister. God, I love that episode.
Told you I wouldn't put it past Reinhold to have that to have the question. You know what episode we're talking about, Reinhold? Of Justice League? I believe it was Unlimited.
Yeah, it was Justice League Unlimited. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Harry will send it to you afterwards.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Like it was like my favorite one. I was sending it around to also the people because when Trump was running for president, I was like, this is like Lex Luthor is running for president. You know. It's like, oh, thanks for the bit. Escology lead, please.
Oh, you're putting in a water heater?
I don't see his comments. There they are. Okay.
Very slow coming. Oh, like coming in from Twitch is very slow for some reason. I don't know.
I saw him. Weird.
I don't. Yeah.
Putting in a water.
Update your internet, guys. Come on. I've seen him for like 2 minutes.
Here's a point, though. Honorable mentions win, Harry. Honorable mentions win.
All right, so it's a dual show now. We don't need a third person.
Hey, I was the one who said it. We're interacting with our community, sir, like we always do.
Producer Paul is not the community, okay? It's part of the machine. It's part of the machine. Anyway, we're too far off topic. Let's get into the topic of the show.
Really too far off topic. You know how many episodes we spent a half an hour talking about bullshit before we talk about the topic? Just because it's your topic.
Ace is here to learn what's going on, okay? He doesn't care about a person.
All this is that you want to rant, and you're trying to get to the rant faster. I know how you work, sir. Just because you have the rant ready, that means you cover all the other bullshit.
All right. Let's get into the topic at hand. That's because that's what people listen to the show for. They want the
honorable mentions win.
I think what they listen in to see how long it takes us to get to the topic.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a drinking game. We should probably just make a drinking game for the or like a bingo card for the episode. Every episode, just release the bingo card every week. Anyways, let's see. Oh crap! All right. Off topic doesn't even begin to describe today. You went a
There
few
it
weeks without
is.
doing the memory.
There
Okay.
it is. Thank you,
Okay,
Ace.
Ace.
Ace is out here calling Harry on it too. Let's go.
We only have one left. We should get to it by the end of August.
All right. Anyway, so Lastpass. All right. So before the year 2022, right, was over, I will say, like, it was the last quarter of the year of 2022 was a crappy time for everyone in like IT. We just got awful Christmas present after awful Christmas present after awful Christmas present. Remember it well, and I remember sitting back and looking at it, going like, well, good thing we don't use this. And that was the Lastpass. When that Lastpass happened, I was like, oh god, that wasn't us. And then Circle CI, which is the good like a content delivery link that which a lot of companies, the one I even work for, use it to help to update your application as you do hot fixes or just update releases. It's a great tool. But when like keys get like messed up, it's an issue. But that's not what we're talking about. Circle CI, they messed up, but it's not as bad as Lastpass, which just keeps taking all the news because Circle CI is like that. That's mostly just like company nerds, stuff like that are happening in companies. People are just dealing with that, and that's mostly just easy. We just have to rotate our keys. Everything should be fine as long as we rotate our keys. It should be easy. Lastpass is a different story. So Lastpass, what is Lastpass? Lastpass is a password management tool. The reason why people would use a password management tool, like if you're myself or a lot of other people, you have many different accounts because everything has an account these days. Either no matter what you're logging into, you have an account, and using the same password everywhere for one of these things, well, that's terrible because when someone gets that one password, well, they'll be able to use it to log into all your items. And if you need to, and if somebody and that password gets compromised, well, you're going to spend the day changing your passwords everywhere because you use the same password everywhere. So password managers are there to design so you can have like one strong password or one strong key to access and help you manage your passwords. The several different ways to do it. I think for the longest time, my password manager was the old school little black book. Yes, the little black date book that you would get. Mine was this little black book with a package of matches in them. So if I needed to instantly delete all my passwords, back when I was in my younger days when I was doing stuff, it was easier. So it's like, encryption key to this thing that you
literally had a burn book.
Burn.
See, that's where we differ. When I had a little black book, it actually had girls' phone numbers in it. So I used it for different purposes, I guess.
See, Ronald, the difference is that you weren't as oblivious as Harry was. There's a difference.
No, I wasn't oblivious.
No, there's something wrong with my computer. You want to come look at it? This is just unplugged. It's like, oh, you want to stay and hang out? Nah, I fixed it. I'm gonna go.
that was taken out of context.
Out of context, my ass.
There's context missing.
That's how you told us the story.
There's context missing. I gotta stop telling you guys stories. But anyways, it's not punk on Harry Day, okay? All right.
But it's so fun.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not fun.
It's so
okay?
fun.
But my little black book had phone numbers and stuff in it of girls in it too. But I had one for passwords that I keep in there, or key to encryption keys. Which like sometimes you want to be able to share this password with other people. Sometimes you want it digitally. Some people want cloud backup. Some don't want a cloud backup. Someone that just want it like local on the local machine. You're not going out there. So these password generation software as a service companies came around. So there's several different ones. There's what is it like LastPass, 1Password. You want to? What are some of the other ones?
I don't use them, so I don't know. They're the
So
ones that hold passwords.
you guys don't use password. You don't use a password manager.
In front of me, just can't remember.
All right.
Not,
Well,
not like
What's
on
the one
mine.
I'm using now? I can't remember.
there's also
Because I just
keychain
recently
holder
switched off
on
of
Apple.
LastPass. I'm trying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's keychain. Like you just use the Apple keychain. The Google, a lot of web browsers have password managers in there. Which honestly, the Google password manager inside your Chrome browser, it's actually a very good. You know, how can I put it? Like a good password manager. The only issue with it suffers from if someone gets access to your local machine, they've got access to all your passwords.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, and it's just and that password vault is just protected
See,
by
so
your
as
Windows.
long as you
It's just
as long as
protected
you
by your
update
Windows
your
password.
server, as long as you update all your
No,
programs,
but
shouldn't be an issue.
you cart before the horse. So we're almost there. But anyways, but the
Uh-huh.
password in your Google password manager is only protected by your Windows password, or whatever your Apple login ID like that, which we all know from watching. What is it? iRobot, was it not iRobot, Mr. Robot? How easy it is. All you need is a packet squirrel or USB rubber ducky, and you get past that very easily. I do it on the regular. It's kind of fun. Bypassing the Windows like login if it doesn't have to
Hi,
go to an AD
Christy.
server.
Hi, Christy.
So by the way, 1Password and Bitwarden are two of the other ones that are good right now, I think.
Yeah, I like my job and my personal. I've been paying for 1Password. I have enjoyed it so far. It's one of what I love using it for work and for family ones. That's what I like to use. But if you go on YouTube and look up Snubsy Shannon, or AKA Shannon Morse of Threatwire, she did a great roundup already. If I was a professional streamer, I would like put a link in the description of her video, which does a great rundown already, better than what we could do in a quick bit of password managers going into 2023. But that's why people have passwords, because we have a lot of things to manage, especially if you have to manage for other people. Like my wife is kind of tech illiterate by a lot, like think like boomer ish tier, like almost there, computer illiterate. So like I have to manage majority of her logins because I discovered years ago that she was just using the same password everything. So I was like, okay, we're not doing this.
Doing the Spaceballs method. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh yeah, so we're not doing that. So I just put everything in her password manager for her and just show her how to use it. But anyways, so which it keeps everything locked up tight. A lot of things you can put MFA on this, so it locks up. You lock it a different way by using a security key, a password, two different, and also multi-factor ways. Like you can even have a UBICO key, so you need a physical UBICO key and a password, so you have something you have and something that password to access the vault. Great thing. It's amazing. Okay, and so this is what LastPass is doing. It's a software as a service. It does it for companies. It's doing it for other people. So they are just they're a target because they have these vaults of people's passwords that they're backing up cloud and syncing them everywhere. So it's easy. It's a great thing that you're able to if I put all the passwords on my phone, this will sync to if I get another phone, my laptop, my work machine, or if I need to put all those passwords in one little area like that. It's great. So, like I said, a big target. So, LastPass finds out last year that, not last year, but like their year around November, that they officially launched and admit that they got breached after doing a little forensic backtracking. There was they get breached, and they started, and so they gave the alert out. Hey, we got a breach. Everyone should start rotating the passwords because it is breach secrets, and at that time, no one's vaults have been hasn't been disclosed out in the wild. So, okay, they haven't unencrypted the vaults yet, so at least publicly shown, right? But they've got them. And if we all know that like cloud GPU processing time with the crypto wars has been cheap right now, so only a matter of time to decrypt your vault. And a lot of people secure their vault with crappy passwords in the first place. I've seen a lot of people do that too, where it's like
Your master key is shit.
Yeah, crappy password. You can go to like haveibeenpwned.com, and that will be able to show you if your email address. But they also have one where you could type in your password to see if your password even shows up into a hacked list. Now, it's not actually sending your password to the server when it happens all client side. When you put your password in there on Have I Been Pwned, you put your password in there, it takes it, hashes it, and then it sends the hash to the server and then check to see if that registers there. So it's not actually sending the password you created, it just sends a hash. And then it all happens client side. So it's really neat. You put your password in there and see if it's in a roundabout list. I've done it on several different occasions and found a popular password I like to use for iJack. Yep, wound up on a list. So I had to pick another one.
We all know it's your my free cams password. It's okay.
First off, that one has not been hacked yet. Okay, I keep that one pretty secure. Okay.
It's unhackable, man.
Yeah. Well, I put in a request in, and they opened it up. So I actually have 100 character password there.
100 character password, of course you do.
It only reads the first 18 characters, so good luck.
No, it doesn't. Take the 100 characters. Anyways, so yeah, where was that?
So that was the first hack that we knew about
from LastPass.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Then there was a second one, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more of it's on the same thing. It's just more like key exploitation. So they're going, they found a vulnerability and they've dug their teeth. This hacking group has dug their teeth in, and then it just started exploiting more and more code. And that's where they got access to be able to get out the access to get the decryption key to be able to decrypt vaults. And
so I don't know if you heard this, but LastPass last week had completed their forensic analysis, and they know exactly how they got owned. Basically, they found out that the AWS storage got hacked, so that's how they got to the databases of the data. But that itself wasn't enough to help them get anything. It's when they targeted one of the 4 developers that work for LastPass, got on his home machine through an exploit through Plex, and was able to put keylogger software on his computer so that when he VPN'd in and logged in to do work on the LastPass stuff, he had to put in his master password in. They got his master password, which gave them access to all the other database passwords.
Yep.
And the only reason that they was able to get into his Plex is because it was a bug that Plex is known about and got patched out, but he didn't update his Plex, so he didn't get the patch that prevented that bug from happening.
Yeah.
So update your Plex, guys, and so not only during LastPass has a problem, but we also learned that Plex has a problem, and we learned that AWS storage has a problem that they all need to be working on.
Well, Plex had a problem that they fixed.
Plex fixed their problem.
And working on a VPN at home for those 4 developers might want to do some extra precautionary stuff, like a isolated machine or something else that they could keep off the net, like a separate VPN, or not a VPN, but a separate virtual environment, virtual network PC that you use to do that work in, so it's not intercommingling with your home system, which you don't need to have as secure because it's your home system. Nobody's going after you. They're going after the LastPass guys. So those guys should have been working in an isolated environment. And you can do that with like VMware Workstation. You can do that with Citrix remote desktops and things like that they could have been doing. But
yeah, Yeah, but it's can be very pricey for stuff like that, and for sensitive data and stuff like that, they should put a little bit more separation to it. The other thing, like, and this what gets me and it gets frustrated me because, like, as a networker, it's like, okay, well, why is this separated in the local? Like, because it's their home environment and their DevOps engineer, and they don't know actual networking. They know AWS networking. They don't know real networking. These are DevOps people. They believe themselves gods and they get taken down by some simple networking firewall rules.
No nostalgia. Your independent study research of homework does not get taken. It is very secure.
Hard. So, like, what also frustrated me too is, like, one thing I would deal with, which has been the bane of my existence, from work remotely, giving out laptops to people, because I hate laptops. They're bane of my existence when I hand them out to people, because one, people drop laptops. They drop them. Anyone who says they don't drop their laptop, they're lying to you. They're lying to your face. Even my own daughter looked at me and said she didn't drop her laptop. And I looked at her again and it's like, don't lie to your father. And she's like, yeah, I dropped it. Like, thank you. Thank you. Don't lie to me. Don't you lie to me. Don't you be like the rest of these plebs out here. Just tell me you dropped it. It's fine. But the other one is that people treat their work laptops like it's their personal machine, loading everything, all these different softwares on it. And a lot of the work softwares that people use, like, they're managed by your IT manager or your IT staff. They make sure they get updated. They're monitored. They make sure they load different things up there. And a lot of other, and it makes you breaks to wonder. It's like, if you're making all this money, you're doing this, why didn't you have a separate machine to have this run on? Why was you running this on your local machine, on your local, like, work machine? Couldn't this be working somewhere else? Did you not care for the personal data that you had access to? Yes, you did the VPN. Good job. Gives you access to the network. But, it's, you didn't update everything else around you. Hey, I have issues sometimes because there's so much stuff here. It's like, hey, like, you've got to keep the stuff updated and keeping things moving. It's difficult, it's hard, but you also got to separate it. So, like, my work laptop's on a separate network. Granted, I have the ability to VLAN. Some people don't. So you may have to subnet, actually doing some subnetting, and I'm not going to sit here and teach people how to subnet because they're going to mess with their stuff up and be mad that they can't print. So I'm not doing that.
Well, VMware Workstation is like $100-$200, right? So
yeah.
That's a no-brainer in my opinion to go that route.
Asus basically said that a laptop is just a big cell phone that's inevitably going to be dropped. Basically.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Big. Yeah. Yep. And it's terrible because, like I said, like, people use these things like it's the freaking personal, especially Apple users. They will try to sign in with their personal Apple ID on a work laptop.
Because it's my laptop, bro.
Right.
And it's mine now. So I can put everything I want on it.
A lot of them don't think, right? Because this happened to me on a lot of occasions, right? Is that Apple ID syncs to all their stuff and brings everything in there, which is great to them, right? Up until something happens at work Apple, it sits here on my desk and I open it up and I get iMessages. So, like, my famous case when I was working at the other company, I was trying to train someone how to work on Apples, and I got put into this group called Dick Discussions, which is just group text of these women talking about penises, and some from the engineers at work, and I'm just like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with this. I'm hitting delete.
Wipe everything. Wipe everything now.
And you just go like, this is the keyboard, my hand. What did I touch? What did I touch?
Who could have been on that?
And all of it syncs there, So it's just like, why would they do this? Why would people do this? But they do this all the time. And them syncing and bringing everything into those like that, you bring in those access to vulnerabilities. This is why when a lot of IT managers, they're like, hey, I want to use this cool software. Cool. Can I see this software? Why? I was like, why do you need this? Can't you use the other one we have? Why? Because this thing may need to be updated. There's something else to watch for us. This is more things for us to maintain just because you like the way it looks, It just frustrates me. And yes, Reinhold, you're right. VMware Workstation is incredibly inexpensive. I think the other issue is that since everyone is up in AWS, it's also like to be using their servers up there. Like, because you could go anywhere else. Like, to be perfectly honest, like if you're in like Microsoft Cloud, you can easily fire up a brand new every time Windows workstation up there. But most of your engineers don't want to work there because it's like, oh, that's real. Yeah, because those are real servers running real networking. And then AWS is funky, goofy names that they want to call it. Like, this is S3 storage. I just want to look at my storage bucket, my storage pool. That's all I want. I always want. And that's just an HP Nimble SAN with your funny thing on it. Honestly, I prefer the Nimble. I prefer any other thing up there. God, you know how much. Sorry, I'm gonna.
We're gonna easily name this episode "Harry Rants at Tech People."
Just like a lot of different people. Like, can I tell you how easy AWS is if you look it through like a VMware panel? Like, it's so much easier to just let VMware like handle your AWS, or sorry, vSphere. You let that handle your AWS instead of going in there. Just like because everything's goofy names, and you just like, I just wanted to do this. I just want to do some BGP, and I just wanted to do this, and I connect to the switch here. That's all I want. That's all I want to do. Sorry.
IT person yells at clouds.
It's what I do all day.
Literally yells at clouds.
I yell at cloud. I yell at people using clouds. It's I think the biggest thing that frustrates me for some people, like it's like the idea of cloud servers are cheaper. It's like, so you're just leasing it? Yeah. So leasing a car is also fine too? Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, this place is for lease. Man, you're paying $1,200 to rent this apartment. Basically. Oh man, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and you're paying $1,200. That's impressive.
Yeah, well, that's what AWS cloud servers are. You're just renting a data center, but like in the worst possible way. You're not even like getting physical hardware or anything like that. Like even paying for a service. But
I mean, yeah, but it's also the convenience of it, because not everybody is as tech savvy as you and Reinhold. While I'm sitting here just like, cool. You said a lot of things, and it was like, I don't know what half of that shit is.
It goes, Harry ranting about tech people is half the show already. I like it though, because normal people act like tech people are astronauts.
Right, and like I get some of the stuff that you were saying, but some of them is like, cool, you good, bro.
Gonna hit you our sponsor. Buy a Reinhold puppy.
This one is not for sale. This one is the one I think we're keeping. It's the runt of the litter. About half the size of his brothers and sisters.
I see Reinhold's doing what he needs to do to get views.
It had.
Heck yeah, I'm trying to get views.
I named the puppies. I named this puppy, and my wife's okay with it, I guess. But I named it Itty Bitty because it's the runt.
Oh.
So we just call her Bitty. The first selection of names that I chose got vetoed because we have 9 puppies. So I thought it would be great to call them like 1 of 9 and 2 of 9 and 3 of 9, etc.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was not as enthused about that as I was, or thought that was as funny as I thought it was.
Well, glad you heard the
Trekkies.
This one's got a great disposition. She's just sweet.
No.
She always sneaks into my office anyway. She has figured out a way to kind of, if I open the door to go in or out, she'll come in and take a left behind the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a little area. She sneaks around back in there. So she's always following me around and getting into stuff.
No.
So I thought I'd say, show her hi. She's so cute.
So Reinhold's that dad meme. No, I don't want a dog. If you're gonna get a dog, you take care of it. Dad and the dog later, just cuddling the dog, and the dog's loving him the most.
All the animals love me most. That's all there is to it. No, I don't. I like animals. I've always had animals. Always had dogs and cats, but
Hmm.
I don't think 12 is sustainable maintaining,
I mean, it
especially when
is,
9 of them are
but
puppies and they're running around like crazy, and I can't walk through the house without them all jumping on my legs and trying to get. They're ankle biters right now, so they're grabbing a hold of my legs and biting on my ankles, and while I'm just trying to walk through the house without stepping on them.
Well, you do got the 20 acres to be able to do it, though.
Yeah, but I can't really let them out right now. They're still puppies. They still can't go. I got a pen built from when we had some before. We used to do rescues.
Hmm.
And so we've had this many dogs around before, but that was before Heather got sick. And I was 15 years younger.
Hmm.
But we still have a pen built so I can attach to the back of the house, the back door.
Mhm.
So I'm getting that this spring as it's getting spring again.
Yeah.
Get that cleaned up and fixed up and make sure it's good for them. And then we can, when they're old enough to get outside and not get any diseases, we'll let them out. I derailed it, didn't I?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, it's fine. Well, I was just basically saying that Harry was talking about a lot of stuff that I have no understanding of. It's like, oh,
Well,
you
it's
can just do this and this. I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
totally.
Yep,
That's just
yep,
not my
okay.
sphere. That's just not
Yeah.
my sphere.
Well, it's just everybody talks
knowledge.
about AWS and how secure it is, and it's like, okay, well, they played a part in this hack,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like
So,
AWS
come
is
on,
sec-
guys.
yeah, AWS is secure. It is secure, but the engineers that are having control of it, they don't. A lot of them don't care or know anything of security. They have access to things that they shouldn't. A lot of the engineers at my company, I watched because we pushed them off in their own environment, and a lot of the times, if they can't figure out how to do something, it's any to any, and it's just like that is not a firewall rule. This is open to the internet. Well, I just don't know what port it's using yet, and I'm like, figure it out. Figure out what
What
port it
Wireshark
is.
is for? You lock it up and watch Wireshark.
Yeah, figure out what port it's using, figure out what IPI address is coming from, and just use this. How difficult is this to do? And I just get and like I have like alerts on it, like so I'll get like messages like bing 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 bing. This server here is now has publicly accessible SSH port. I'm like, what the is wrong with you?
Thanks, Ace. I feel better. Thanks, Ace. I feel way better. He's like, don't worry, Vincent. I might like Harry's tech rants, but I only understand that he's saying words.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And there's a lot of different things I do, like for found it, figured it out.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So there's a lot of different things. It's just because, like in any other local environment, stuff like that, you would get like there's been a network administrator that would provision that, but everyone's got this idea because like the Silicon Valley is like move fast, break stuff, or allowing people to have access to things that they shouldn't too. It's just like just allow people to open things up. Yeah, that's not exactly what happened in this case. Possibly, they're finding out more and more, and realizing like because they're trying to get things in place. But I think one of the things that you were finding out is that like why MFA is very important, right? And almost putting MFA on your VPN tokens too. So I think even watching this, after seeing this, I think I am going to go and I've used this Lastpass case to convince my company that we are going to do a physical MFA key deployment this year for a AWS environment for the engineers, because if they would have had a physical, if they would have at least had a physical MFA key for at least the VPN, it would have slowed them down. You're muted, Randall. I muted you. I'm sorry. When you got up, I muted you. I muted you, Randall, when you got up. Could you unmute?
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I was looking at my other mute button. I didn't see that one on.
Yeah, I muted you.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. The thing with this LastPass thing with the two factor is that once they got to the guy's home workstation and got through the third-party software breach, the Plex breach exploit, they were doing keylogger stuff, and they were also capturing token requests.
Yes.
So because they could capture the token request, they could use that to get access to the two-factor.
Well, that's why you would go to like the physical two-factor authentication key from like Ubico key or a Titan key would have prevented that.
Well, they still have to enter in they still have to enter in the code, don't they? Or is there a way to bypass that code entering on the computer through the device?
Yeah, basically the device. Once you plug in the device, your software will try to find that Ubico key and use the code off of there. And some of them actually make you physically.
That's right. I do my Microsoft Authenticator, and it'll prompt me on my phone. I hit my phone, boom, boom. So that's different than the computer. So that's separate. They wouldn't be able to capture that. Yeah.
Correct. Moves it somewhere else. Yeah. Which Ubico keys can be very pricey because you also have to back these suckers up, which is very important that you back your Ubico key up because back up. Very important. So we will be deploying well, I don't know. I'm not going to say what company I'm going to use to depends on which one I get a better quote from. I know what company I want to use, but right now I can't, so yeah.
Can't be picky.
I can't be picky, especially if someone gives me a good deal and then good track record, so I don't want to be like, I want this company, then find out like, man, this company's gonna be a hell of a deal.
You gotta keep your options open for the kickback game, right?
Exactly. We're open to key sponsors too, by the way. You have key company, but no, yeah. And I think those type of keys, are very brilliant. I think so. It's just those little different things. It's like the other thing which you can also do, which is harder to do with your VPN, is that you also deny, especially like when people are sitting remote, which just sucks too, because everyone's remote, everyone's moving around, but like you're able to submit your local like WAN IP, right? So if someone's at the house, let's take Paul's Paul's WAN IP. I got it right here. 205 69 72 33. Paul's WAN IP. I can make sure I'm gonna let this one through, right, and then deny or block anything else attached to the VPN server. So one, you got to also have this IP, and you've got to go through. So I don't know. I think I might be, with everyone working remotely, I may have to get on board with IP version 6 so everyone can have a static IP. WAN IP. God, that hurts saying it. Like maybe now we should really give out IP version 6 IP addresses to people. Maybe we should.
Yeah, be tied to your social security number. That'd be easy.
Well, Rhino, come on, Rhino. Rich too far now, Rhino. The government is stupid enough to do something like that.
Because of your social security number, and then we have this thing called social credit. You see,
it's bad enough. Like people's phone numbers now are attached to them because just put your phone number, key code. They use your phone number is almost synonymous as like who you are, And I didn't realize I was doing it too until I realized it was like. There's companies that only know me for my cell phone number, that I put in, I put my number in and I put my PIN code in. It's like, to them, I'm just this phone number, which is my public phone number. It sucks. So it's like a social, but it's what I chose technically, or picked, or asked for. So which is fun because
find it. It's just
So I got like phone for work and a home phone, right? I got phone for work, phone for home, right? I got 2 phones, right? I'm that dad with 2 phones, right? Okay. When I went to go, I filed in for Vincent, 2 phones. Vincent, that's
I have one. I have one at home and one for on the go.
Degenerates. Yeah. Oh, look at these degenerates. With your 2 phones.
I have 5 others sitting next to me on the table. So grab them.
Fucking degenerates. Anyways, I realized I texted. I was filling out a form to get my because it's getting ready summer again, so it's Speedo season. So I need my legs waxed, and I went to go get an appointment. And when I put my name in and everything in the system was like, Mr. Press, you just need to put in your we need a card on file. And I was just like, you already have my card on file. I've come in for like years. What are you talking about? And I realized I did it on my other phone number. They didn't know me from that phone number, which is weird. The system just kind of kicked back, and then it was like, oh, then it finally kicked back, and then tried to communicate with my other phone. I was like, oh man. The only thing to be more data is to having a beeper and a pager. So I kind of wanted like I think it'd be fun to get
beeper is
beepers.
a pager.
Yeah, beeper pagers. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
You know the technology for beeper and pager, like stuff that's really cheap. You can get it on eBay. Just pick it up. You can page.
Yeah, we at the end of the paging era, we were doing all that on the internet. We were doing paging through, the internet stuff. So,
but almost now, I don't even.
We were sending text messages to people's pagers by putting it into a text box on a web page and things like that.
Yep. I almost don't even want a phone number anymore. Like I hardly ever do call people. Actually, physically call someone on my phone anymore. And most of it, and honestly, I've almost got to the point. I think like rarely text people. I think I got like 2 different groups that I do text on like my phone, but I have been pulling people to do other things like either to email or like Discord or Slack or other places. It's like, man, this is just data thing. What if I go back to my laptop now? Yeah, I need Trillion again. Now I need Trillion. Okay.
See, I've got one phone that doesn't have a SIM card in it that I can use for all kinds. I can do a lot of stuff with it, but it doesn't have a SIM card attached to it, so there's no phone number attached to it. But I can still do Facebook Messenger, email, all that kind of stuff.
So my second phone is.
Yep. Just remember,
is all connected to the internet, and that's it.
Yep. Just always remember, just because a phone doesn't have a SIM card in it, it's still talking to those towers. So the whole movie thing, like I brought my SIM card out and I cracked it. That doesn't work. It's still communicating with the towers. All that is subscription information. So
yeah, because you can still make an emergency call on it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. They made it so you can still call 911 if needed.
Yeah, if you don't want your phone to communicate with the towers, you're going to go to airplane mode. Or just get rid of the phone. But yeah. It's fine. It's fine. What?
Now Harry out here is like, no one needs phones anymore.
I don't know. Like, do we?
Oh my god.
Do we need phones?
Well, I still have a landline that I use for specific special purposes that I almost never look at. So people ask what my home phone number is. I can give them that number, then I can ignore them.
It's actually a fax line. That's all it is.
It is. There's a fax attached to it, by the way.
There it is. There it is.
When you work with medical stuff a lot, you end up having to have a fax machine. Sorry. That's just the way it is these days. You still can't.
I know.
Well, fax machines are more secure. Got the encryption built in, right?
Right. It's like nobody's listening to your line or capturing data off the phone line like that, with a sniffer.
Well, not anymore. Honestly, like I was just saying, like it's secure because no one's listening.
Yeah. What's the security by obscurity, right?
Yeah, like no one's listening. Like it's secure because no one's listening.
I was watching a show I think yesterday or today. It was talking about Captain Crunch. If you remember Captain Crunch, they called him that because he found a whistle in Captain Crunch and you could use it to make long distance phone calls. So there's always been people hacking stuff.
You want to know something very sad? Most people probably only know about that because it was in one of the Ready Player One books.
I don't know. That's sad. The technology is like deprecated and stuff like that. It's all and it's so far away. And, like I watched a video which somebody decided to make a dial-up ISP because of the old POTS lines would get torn up. So it's like his last chance to do this cool project. And I was like, man, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have done before the lines get tore up. It's. It's last time
seeing a story on that. The Captain Crunch, they actually interviewed him or talked to a character of him in the Pirates of Silicon Valley movie that I got back from the day. So, but if you remember Mitnick, I've been watching his career for like 30 years. So that's been a fun one to follow.
Yeah. The last time I had to use a dial-up modem, I used it to connect online when I was in LAX because they had payphones with modem connection to it. And after when people made fun of my old Lenovo, I proceeded to show them that I could at least still get on the net with it. Yes, LAX in was it like 2018 or something like that. Yeah, still had payphones, dial-up at LAX. They worked. I plugged in, got a dial tone. You know, I looked up a free dial ISP, put the phone number in, my laptop connected. I was like, yeah.
Get fucked.
Remember Earthlink? Oh man, those days.
Man.
I kind of miss those days.
Yeah. I remember learning how to take a phone line with an Ethernet wiring, so you can run multiple lines with one Ethernet line on a phone line. Learning how to do that, pointless piece of technology.
Yeah, I remember learning how to dual bond an ISDN modem.
Oof.
So you get 128K.
Oh yeah, so slowly following the member.
So I could get on my chat rooms that were pure chat text, and I needed all that 128K to do that. Apparently.
Remember having to actually label cables like this is my rollover cable in my bags, my crossover cable, this is my straight through cable. Now it's like I don't even care. The Knicks can pick it up when I'm using.
I used to have different color for my crossovers. I used to have an orange cable for my crossovers and blue for the regular. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the PoEs had to have a different one. Those were ports. Those aren't, the cables didn't matter too much there, but
I always like to make the PoE cables like yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I like doing. To me, that always seemed like electricity power.
Well, and what's funny is we put in a network where I was working at, I was just getting into that area of the business at the time. And the guy who ran all the wires was they got him. I don't know where they got this guy at, but he left a whole roll of the cable that he ran with. It was orange. I'm sitting there learning how to redo the ends on the cables for all the ones he messed up. Right. So I had to redo, like a third of all the ones that he did, because we were trying to get, Cat 5 at the time, which was hard to do if you didn't know what you were doing, and putting them into cases. I had to clamp them and all that stuff. That was fun times. I remember that. But that's where I got into the orange thing, because he left a whole thing of orange cable there for us. So I just took it.
Learned how to do that in 1999. Okay.
That was in 94, 95 for me. Okay. 95, 96.
Oh,
Cool. I was 1.
So I remember when the Windows 95 came out, everybody was like, "What's this internet thing?"
Oh God!
I didn't know what conscious thought was then.
The Stones were doing "Start Me Up," and it was all a big deal.
All right. So before we get to far off, let's go back to let's crap on Lastpass some more.
Before we get too far off, after 20 minutes of member berries, it's fine.
One good thing is that Lastpass has done a lot of the things they need to do to fix this. They've reissued all the new certificates that were hacked into and captured. So they've redone a lot of security, did some segmenting, did a lot of things to prevent this from happening again.
Yes.
But do you trust a company that let it happen in the first place? So what else are they missing? Now, some people would say that after suffering an attack like that they're probably going to be the most security conscious people ever. Again, they're going to have a hard time getting anything through by them again, because they're going to be super paranoid.
Right.
But do you take the chance or not? So
you're asking.
And has anybody, so like Bitwarden and 1Password haven't been attacked. They haven't been, hacked yet. But what happens if they just haven't been tested well enough yet? And now they're next on the block.
Correct.
Now they've done auditing. They've done auditing on those companies, but they did auditing on LastPass too. LastPass was in good shape. It was a user exploit. It was a backdoor way in that had nothing to do with their code.
Yeah.
It was their business practices.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure like 1Password a bit more. Like I haven't talked to their IT manager, don't know what's going on. But I would say if there's something like that, having someone in my industry like this, the thing I would go through is like, hey, I need money. We're going to go audit everyone's machine. Auditing everyone's machine. We're going to find out everything everyone's has on it. And if you have something that's not work related, we're deleting it off it. And we want it gone now.
Yeah, you're hoping that those companies are saying, "Oh, this happened to LastPass. We cannot let this happen to us," and they're looking at that forensic that LastPass did, and they're going through and making sure they can't get caught that way.
Correct. Yeah, it's all going to be like this year's risk assessment stuff like that. Yeah, that's why I said like this thing. I'm using it because I've been wanting to get a physical MFA key. I think I used when our DNS server that my company was using, it went down, and I used it for my risk assessment for this year when I submitted it. It was like, this is what they did bad. This is why we're not using their service anymore. So we needed to make sure that we don't do this either. I think what LastPass has done is also keep communication open. I think that is very good. They do give me, like, I don't think LastPass is going to go down, but it's going to be a hard sell for any IT person to want to bring, like, if you're not currently using LastPass, I don't know how it's going to be very, very hard to onboard this as a vendor for a while.
Yeah,
you say that.
It's the name.
Yeah,
the
you
name
say
in
that.
The news.
But how many people are still using SolarWinds? How many people are still buying SolarWinds?
Oh, man, I haven't bought SolarWinds. I miss SolarWinds. I want you to know I miss using it. I do miss using it, but it is also a hard sell when you try to tell anyone like.
But they're still in business and they're still making money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. Yeah. But me, when I'm trying to talk to anyone who doesn't have SolarWinds, it's like, hey, we should get SolarWinds. Like, I don't know. Like,
they look at you like you just suggested Microsoft to them.
Right. A lot of them still do that too. It's like, Microsoft, why do we want to use that cloud? It's got better uptime than AWS.
It's more, sorry, in my opinion, more secure. It didn't get hacked, did it?
More secure. And the pricing's better. Okay, I'll say it. Pricing's better.
It's all about knowing what was in the news. It's in your brain of if you associate something bad to something, it's harder for you to go back and go, well, they changed it. It's the same things with like No Man's Sky, right? We talked about that before. The game No Man's Sky. It's been great. Everybody, like they've put in the effort and make the game great and amazing now, but there's going to be so many people that aren't going to play it because they were burned when they first played it. Well, so it's that kind of thing.
You got to remember, in the IT industry, there is such a thing as operations by reading CTO magazine, because your CTOs will read this magazine, and whatever's in that magazine, that's what you have to be prepared to talk about with your management that week, right?
Yeah.
You have to get that magazine and stay on top of it so that you are able to answer those questions.
God, I hate that so much. He's so right there. So effing right. So
what about this thing? And you're just like, and you have to go through, but you got to be prepared for it because it's going to happen. That's how it works.
I did love saying like what I put up the fake, like, oh yeah, we're a multi-cloud environment. Yeah, multi-cloud hybrid environment. What's that mean? Oh, I've got some servers here at the local office. We're also using this cloud. Then I also spun up something in Google Cloud. So technically we're in multiple cloud.
Yeah, 98% of what we use is in one cloud, and 2% is on these other three.
Right, but yeah,
we're a multi-cloud hybrid environment.
That's why it'll be a hard sell to get people to use it now, because there was so much news about it being hacked, and even if they quadruple down and make it the most secure, unhackable, fucking safe of a program, there's going to be enough people who are like, well, they got hacked before, so why would I want to use them?
But you understand too, is that the people who've heard about it are going to be tech people or people who are really close associated with tech people. A lot of people never heard of LastPass and don't know anything about it. And they're like, oh, this looks cool. I'll use this.
So the We Are Libertarians Network uses LastPass.
I have a LastPass subscription. It's up for renewal next week. Guess what? I'm not renewing
it. It is.
Right hold. You can't kick a mother down.
I may have to renew just to keep the authenticator working for a little while until I get all that cut over, because I got a lot of stuff in my authenticator.
Hey,
if I can get that switched over to Bitwarden. But
Oh, unless you want to come to One Pass, you want to come to One Pass? I can get your code.
I think I've got Bitward already installed, so
Oh,
I'm switching over to Bitward.
that's fine.
I'm not giving you a referral. Sorry, a refer bonus.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
Bitwarden's free.
There's some other good ones. I'm trying to remember, but there's just one off the top of my head that I've recommended also to people, which is it's a free password manager, and you only pay for if you want them to help sync the password manager in the cloud to other devices. If not, they just help you maintain a secure encrypted one on your desktop. And it's just like, So
yeah, if you have your own, if you have your own hyper or Azure cloud based storage device, and you can sync it all up yourself.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. Like I also don't let my DOS box, but my server doesn't talk to the internet. I'll let it talk to the internet. I talk to it, and my computer talks to the internet, but that thing doesn't talk to the internet. You know, it's a gate. It's what I like doing.
Makes sense.
You know,
I'm getting ready to put a bunch of smart bulbs in my house anyway, so I just throwing all that out the window.
Good separate network, right? Just make a separate. All you have to do is
make a home device network. I understand,
or just subnet it. Just make it separate. Yeah, you don't have to.
I had stuff subnetted. I had my computer through another router and all that stuff. But man, getting things to work sometimes was such a pain in the ass. I got to the point where I'm just like, screw it. Like I'm trying to get to my printer, which is on a different network and subnet, and you can't do searching that way. You have to put it's just like it's my home stuff, you know. It's not like when I do work stuff, it's on a VPN through through VMware and all that stuff. It's all segmented that way. Mm-hmm. So
yep.
I don't
know. All right, so this episode gets too long in the tooth. I will have to tell people, it's like, if you are using your work computer to watch this show and you're not working, don't. Just get us something else. Have your own laptop, have your own equipment separate from your work stuff. Yeah, put let your work stuff be work stuff. Use it for work. Put it that. Like, you want to do what's going to get people to go back in the office. This crap right here. If this keeps happening, now you're not coming. Got to come into the office. No more laptops. Here's your desktop.
Don't ruin it for everybody.
I know. Stop ruining it for all of us. Be more security conscious and update your stuff. All right, you're DevOps. You should be up on your updates.
Nah, bro. Why would I want to update my stuff, bro?
Every time I update it, my stuff code quits working, so I got to go back to the old
version. Things break, man. I just don't let Windows update until I have to.
I still run in 2003, man. Server 2003, because stuff didn't work in 2008. I've heard that recently, by the way.
God, it's just I don't know. Too many. Who I have to say, people who have only I think so many people have just never been in a security breach or something had happened to them, so they just kind of like play around with stuff. They don't understand the idea of like being completely locked out of a system. Can't get anything.
I got a story for you. We had somebody that is a doctor-owned hospital that they did surgeries and stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
They decided they didn't need all this extra security and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. They got hacked. All the machines taken over with ransom, with all kinds of stuff, right? Ransomware and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
They end up paying a big hit on that one, like over $1 million, and they couldn't do all their surgeries because they were all tied to the electronic charting instead of the physical charting. So they had to cancel surgeries.
Jeez.
No, it was elective stuff, so it was fine. But it's just like,
Yep.
And I know a school who had a similar thing happen to them. They lost all of their stuff. They had to rebuild everything because of ransomware attacks. So be careful out there.
Yeah.
When it's just you and your stuff and you don't have anything you think anybody's going to care about, it's one thing. But if you're working for other people and you've got to be conscious of security and their systems and things like that, be careful.
Yep.
Even if it's just your personal stuff, you're unsure. There's a great YouTube channel that talks about this stuff, especially when it starts happening. It's called Some Ordinary Gamer.
No, screw him. Screw him.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Mudahar? You know he's very well educated, and to the point where he actually decided to see how much ransomware he can get onto a virtual machine before it crashed.
Because he's Canadian. Let's go to a nice. Let's send views to a nice American,
security now.
Nice American channel. Okay,
Steve Gibson, who invented the term ransomware.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
he's the guy that found out about it when nobody knew anything was going on, or botnets. That's what it was. He invented the botnet thing. Yeah. Because nobody knew what botnets were, and he just saw some weird IRC traffic on his system and went, "What's this?" Backdoored into the IRC channel and saw all these bots popping in and out, and then talked to the guy who was running it. That's how we all learned about botnets, was from that.
Which had been neat when you're doing something and like, "Whoa, are you the Steve Gibson?" Dude, what's up? But anyways, like it's I was gonna also go to Shannon Moore, Snubsy, from Threatwire. I love watching Threatwire. Been watching it for years from the old Hack 5 crew. So yeah, but they're still around. Yeah, which Hack 5's still around, still doing videos, doing good stuff. So yeah, tons of stuff out there. Keep yourself secure. It's and also don't be afraid. Run an ad blocker too. Okay. All right. Well, Reddit, just run an ad blocker. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. If you're worried.
So the thing about ad blocking is that you feel like you're costing the people whose content you're enjoying, you're costing them money. Hand them a couple bucks straight. Bypass the ad blocker and give them some cash.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Super chats, Patreon.
Ooh, no. Whoa. Try not to do super chats. Don't do that. If they have it, just try to give it more directly to them. Don't give it to
some of the people don't have that.
No, Mama Susan doesn't need the money. Twitch does.
There's no Mama Susan anymore. Sir.
Oh, that's
Come
true.
on.
That's true.
Now,
if you got Amazon Plus, you get a free Twitch subscription with your Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. Subscribe to somebody, because that's not money you're paying, but they're getting.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
And they appreciate it. Trust me. They're like, oh, it's just an Amazon Prime. No. They appreciate that because it's the same money to them.
Use the Bezos money. It helps out. So it's really good to help out your other content creator. So try to help them out. All right. Well, this episode's getting too long in the tooth now. So if you've been listening this long in the episode, you're a true fan. You're awesome. But just remember, this is a live show Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out with us live on YouTube, Twitch. Hang out. Be a part of the show. Comment. Come talk to us. Hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. Next week's episode, I'm going to rant about, like cars, not just bikes, but a great video out about stupid vehicles, and it's almost like he's in my head and saying the exact same rants I have said. So I wanted to pick this video, go through this thing, because some things I had issues with, but some things I wanted to praise. And I want to make sure these two watch it too, and make everyone else here watches and listen.
Man, Harry out here doing React content, just like how Reinhold wanted.
I'm not reacting to the whole video. We're gonna jump around and talk.
You literally just said you're gonna break down the video, and explain. You're basically reacting to it, Harry. You're just giving him what he wants.
Forcing us to react to it. That's what.
You're giving him what he wants, Harry. If you don't watch it, you're like, all right, I need you guys to watch this, and that way I can talk to you guys about how you guys respond to it. You're literally forcing a React channel on us right now, Harry. I'm insulted.
I feel heard. Come back next week. Come back next week. Help us derail the conversation again. We love doing that. It's our favorite topic, favorite thing to do. So,
and we might get to
we could use your help
3x3s eventually, because somebody decides that they want to actually talk about it. And so, I'm just sitting here waiting for the time I'm told I can talk about this again, even though it's been almost a full year.
I just want to get producer Paul to watch Initial D enough. So
then do it.
Yeah, I gotta find time. Really
hard. Exactly. That's my point.
Really hard. I got water heaters to install, and I'm already writing him for this D&D game. So Gotta figure it out. Gotta find time for it. All right. So thanks everybody. Say goodbye. I'm hitting the off button.
Bye.
We demand our 3x3s.